Hi, I'm Jono. Welcome to a Lunatone application video. In this video, we're going to look at some useful features inside the DALI Cockpit, a few troubleshooting steps that you can use when actions don't behave as expected, and finally, a few post-installation features that will really help you with confirming that your setup is running smoothly. Addressing. When addressing the line, there are options such as an invisible search. When using this option, we could address the line. However, if we do not use the invisible search when addressing, lights are first set to their programmed minimum value. Then, lights that are successfully found during the addressing stage are set to their programmed maximum value. Doing this allows you to confirm all devices that are addressed on the DALI line. You can physically check the installation, and if there are any lights that are not at 100%, then you know they were not addressed correctly, or there may be a wiring fault on the DALI line. Read devices on selection. Once you've got all your devices addressed, under the Preference tab in the Options menu, there is an option called Read Devices on Selection. When this is turned on, every time you click on a device in the device tree, the cockpit automatically updates its info, regardless if it has been read before. If you prefer to manually refresh only when needed, you can switch this off. But for the most cases, it's best left enabled to keep the data that you are working with mirroring the data that is currently in the device. Read all. If you prefer to work with manual refreshing to reduce time spent on reading devices, there is an additional feature. You can click on the Read All under the DALI Bus tab to pull in data from all connected devices. This ensures that you're working with the latest values, things like group memberships, scenes, settings, and power levels. In the submenu of the Read All functions, you can also set the Read All to go through each DALI bus if you have a setup with multiple DALI lines. The option Refresh Already Read Devices is used if you have some devices that have been read before the Read All function started and you want them to be refreshed. Organizing groups. You can make groups in multiple ways. A quick way is to right-click on an interface and select Add New Group. Then you can drag and drop devices directly into that group. This makes it easier to organize your layout, especially when you're working with large installations. Just drag a device from the list into the group, and it is instantly assigned. When clicking on the group, you can rename it and reassign its group number. If you change the number to an existing group number, the DALI Cockpit will ask you if you want to merge the two groups together. Setting configurations and scenes. The group page allows control and setting DALI parameters globally for all devices within the group. Here's a nice feature. Any dimmer value currently active can be stored as a scene. If you've set your lighting to the perfect brightness, simply click Store as Scene button near the bottom of the page, and that level will be saved for future recall. This feature is available on the interface page, where it is sent as a broadcast. All devices on the bus will then store these scene levels, or on the group page, where each device in the group will store the scene level. There is also an additional feature for setting scenes globally. Let's look at the Scene Configuration tool. From here, we can set the scene's values, then store them via broadcast, group, or individual devices. Import and export configurations. If you're managing multiple of the same device, you'll find the import and export options very useful. You can export all your device configurations as a file, then import them later to quickly restore settings or quickly apply settings to dimmers, including Lunatone-specific settings. These settings are also available for many Lunatone control devices like our sensors, push buttons, and interfaces. Using the DALI command tool. Next up, let's open the DALI command tool. Here you can manually send commands to a device. Don't forget to set the destination address. You can send a query status to check a device's status. The response will appear right here in the results area of the tool. This is useful for confirming devices are active and responding correctly. Opening the DALI monitor. If you ever need to diagnose communication issues, the DALI monitor is your best friend. To open it, right-click on your interface in the cockpit. Then select Open DALI Monitor. Alternatively, if you open the DALI monitor as a standalone application, the interface device can be selected the same way as you would within DALI Cockpit, by pressing on the icon Bus Interface in the toolbar and choosing the interface device. Understanding the layout. The monitor listens to everything happening on the DALI line. It does not send commands. The monitor only reports what it sees on the DALI line. You can customize which columns are visible, for example, address, command, or type fields. If something is missing, just right-click on the column headers, mouse down to the column submenu, and enable the ones that you need. If columns are outside of your view due to resolution or sizing issues, use Set Default Column Size to reset. Using the DALI monitor. Let's continue with our monitor. First, I will clear the messages so that we can start with a fresh monitor log. Now that our monitor is clear, I can send a command on the DALI line by either using an input device on the DALI line or by using the DALI cockpit to send a command. In this example, I will start with the DALI cockpit. Here, I will send a max command. This will turn any connected luminaires to their maximum values. We can see on the monitor a command comes through. Let's take a closer look at the log line of the monitor. Understanding a log line. We can gain a lot of information from a line in the monitor. More often than not, you will find the relevant information in the type, address, and command sections. Type is a message type. It can be error, info, or a specific command type, for example, DALI 16 special. Address is the intended destination for the command. Command is the actual command instructions. Frame is the DALI code for the command in hexadecimal. This is translated into the command in the section above. Delta is the time between current and previous commands. As you can see, there is no column for sender. There is no information on which device sent the command, only which device the command is addressed to. With this, we can understand what is happening with our devices on the line and correct any errors if they are present. Checking the bus supply. First, always check the DALI line is supplied with power. Without bus power, we won't see any commands in monitor, and devices will not react to commands being sent on the DALI line. The bus supply indicator in Cockpit is a quick and easy way to confirm that the line is powered. When looking at the interface on Cockpit, if you see a green lightning bolt, it means the bus is powered correctly. If it is grey, there is no supply and your devices will not communicate. If power on the DALI line drops while the monitor is open, you will see an error message shown in the log lines. Double check your power supply or have a look at our DALI power supply video for a deeper explanation on potential DALI power issues. Unstable communication troubleshooting. If you suspect unstable communication, keep the monitor running for a while and watch for framing errors. You can also save the log to record the bus activity over time for review later, which is very useful for tracking intermittent issues. Watch out for delays between frames. While there should be a small delay between a query and an answer, if the DALI bus shows constant communications with small delays, this might also cause unstable communication for other control devices. Keep in mind, in DALI, you cannot see which device has sent a command, only the address the command is sent to. Common troubleshooting examples and how to resolve them in DALI Cockpit. Double addressing. This can happen if you replace a dimmer but forget to clear its old address. When addressing the line, conflicts will be shown as an error in the device list. Right-click on the device, then delete the conflicting address and start the addressing section again. Device not responding. Sometimes missing groups or scene settings are the cause of a non-responsive device. If a device is responsive to a status query command, but not to light commands, check if the device is assigned to a group in Cockpit. Check if the control device is sending commands to the correct group, which can be checked in Monitor. Check the scene settings of the device. In DALI Cockpit, make sure to press the Read button to ensure that the device's latest values are being shown to you. strange fade behavior. If your lights fade too slowly or too quickly, check the fade time command that is being sent by your control devices. You can see those directly in the DALI monitor. Thanks for watching. For more videos like this, check out our YouTube channel or visit our website.